Does fashion get you women? The answer is yes. But it gets you a very specific kind of woman. Just like with anything, people have a preference and a general sense of style that they like on specific people, or people just have certain types that they are more attracted to. I am not talking about race preferences, that is a little bit weird, but I'm talking about height difference. I'm talking about how big their hands are. Maybe if they are bald or they have to wear glasses. And women can be attracted to certain styles. Now, the more niche you go in with your style, the more niche of the woman that you really attract. Now, I'm not saying a Carhartt boy can get with a emo goth girl. That sometimes does happen. But for the most part, I would say typical people in that type of niche, when it comes down to like goth, people usually date around that same area, whether it's avant or in that dark subculture of style. But let's get into it today. Does having style get you women? Now, this is a nuanced topic, a conversation for a philosophical person like myself. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Fashion Elitist, aka JQ, and today I don't have a mic. I want to talk with my hands now. You know, it's more engaging. And I have really cool rings today. Check them out. We got the Yoji on the index finger. We got clocks and colors on the ring finger and vintage. And over here we got another clocks and colors, some brand something. I don't remember. But that is the stack for today. You will be seeing them on my knuckles this whole time I converse with you and we have discussion about philosophical things about women. As myself, a person who gets a lot of women, you definitely should listen. Side story, someone left this in a subway. I picked it up. I'm hoping they call it. I'm trying to give them back their phone. Shout out Goku. Hair's looking kind of cool today. It's kind of long. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get into the video. Now, this segment is going to be the general rule of thumb of fashion. The general pinnacle of fashion is about self-expression. Now, there's excitement and human interaction.
How does it feel to have zero in your entire life?
Those are two other things that are in the pillars of what fashion's really about, but the main pillar is self-expression. If we're not really expressing ourselves, then what is even fashion? What even is the point at the end of the day? You definitely should be following that instead of the surface level idea of attracting women because you want to attract men. You want to attract men, let's be honest here. The interesting thing about fashion, and I can relate it back to the gym, is the more you get into it, the more you'll be attracting men, most likely. I would say for the most times, I get complimented by men walking down the street, because at the end of the day, a woman that is seeing me dressed in how I dress in all black is either intimidated or I'm ugly. I don't know what it is. I don't get compliments by women. It's mostly men. Let's relate it back to what I was saying. The gym, you work out, you think you're gonna get validation from women? No, you're getting it from men. The only person that's really going to be talking to you is men.
Bro's handsome. Bro's actually good looking. Bro looks fucking yummy. Bro's actually really delightful. And I'm actually really appreciative of him. Appreciate him. Bro's a really great guy to be around. And he likes to make people laugh and boost our morale. And I can't thank Bro enough for that.
So you might be honestly utterly disappointed with the fact that you're attracting more of the male gaze compared to the women gaze, because at the end of the day, you're trying to specifically fit into this generalization what you think women want. Because what type of style does the average Joe, not the average Joe, that's a male name. What's a generic woman name? Jamie. That's a pretty generic woman username, right? What does the average Jamie want in a male? The men. What does she want for style? I mean, the thing is, fashion is about self-expression, and it really is about expressing who you are, how you want to showcase yourself, and what you really want to, I guess, add into that profile of what type of fashion you're into. Because with fashion comes a lot of predictability. Now, certain styles might have certain demographics that really, cater towards that certain style. Y2K, the roadman style. I mean, you can only really stereotypically understand what their lifestyle is really about, right? Now, you see an avant kid, you think pretentious, mean, gatekeeper. You see the Y2K girl, you think thrift hoarder, you think Depop seller, might be sneaky, depending on what Y2K we're talking about. I mean, the list goes on. When you put yourself into a category of a certain style or genre, when you're expressing yourself, you typically fit into one lifestyle. And that's kind of how people get a general idea about who you really are. Now, this is not to scare anybody to be afraid of dressing and how they want to, because because you might get a ruined perception, you know, that social anxiety you have when you go outside because everyone's really staring at you. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you have social anxiety and you think people are staring at you, I guarantee you it's not going to be anybody. No one cares about you except me. I'm the one who's judging you from afar, staring at your outfits, judging them, trying to break down why you decided to wear that. Why did you even walk out of your house looking like that? I'm going to be the one who is going to be breaking your outfits completely down in my head, analyzing you from top to bottom. I am the reason why you have social anxiety. Because people like me love to judge others walking down the street. I gotta salute the people that really dress in a very courageous way out there. I mean, not only sometimes do I do that, but I think it's a crazy way to really express yourself. But the thing is, the more looks you get, the more social anxiety you get. Maybe you do, maybe you don't care. It really depends on the person. But yeah, the general rule of thumb, self-expression, that's what fashion's about. Now, let's move on to the next thing. Now, let's say if you don't care about fashion for what it is and you just want women, here are my tips. To get a larger pool of the mainstream women, and I would say the larger pool of, I guess, to attract most women, you must dress accordingly. You must dress to what is currently mainstream at the moment. Now, by giving you this advice, I'm completely demolishing my whole idealization of what fashion's about, my philosophy behind it. I'm completely being a hypocrite. But at the end of the day, I gotta play devil's advocate. I gotta fool around with the ideas and just give my own honest opinions about, you know, other things that aren't what I truly believe in. So, like I was saying, if you don't care about the philosophy of fashion and you're really just here to learn how to pick up women with your style, to get the largest pool of women, you must dress accordingly to the mainstream. Now, like I was mentioning earlier, with like anything, the mainstream is what you're going to want to do because it's really popular. When you niche down the amount of people you will attract. If you don't niche down and you go into the mainstream, you will attract a huge pool of women. Most likely, I would say almost everybody. Even sometimes some niche people will be more into the average day Joe. You know, the Jose, the Jasper, you know, these kids. They'll be into them. And that's not to say that you must dress in the mainstream. I'm only saying this to the people that don't care or are just interested about what I'm talking about, you know? I'm here to pick your brain, to tap it. All you really gotta do is follow the very basic NPC builds and maybe have a bit of fun, but always keep it consistent and do not be corny. And what do I mean by keep it consistent? Keep the style very generic, keep it within the trendiness, grab some trends, wear it, but make sure you're not consuming only in trends. Try and at least like personalize it, make it a little bit you know? You don't wanna wear a full varsity jacket, vintage tee, dunks like thing that you see copy and pasted from Pinterest to the Instagram Explore page. You wanna add a little spice to it, you know, add a little bit of your personality, just a tad, you know? Because you don't wanna scare women away with your personality, like your true self, because obviously if you're expressing who you really are, do women really care about that? No. Women only want you to lie to them, right? That's the answer. They want you to lie with your style. This video is gonna sound so misogynistic. These are all jokes. These are jokes. I hope no one really takes this to heart, but back to what I was saying. Keep it light. Follow what's currently mainstream. Really just take note to it. It's not too hard. I would say for the most part, most people can do it. You can, right now, what's going crazy on the internet is the 2020 wave, 2023 wave will probably be vintage. It's quite popular. It's quite easy to get into. I mean, everyone can really do it. I could if I wanted to, but I currently have a curated style. I can't really do that and I don't want to, but go to the thrift stores, you know, pick up some Levi's and vintage tees, maybe add a little bit of spice of your own characteristics that you like, whether it's putting pins on stuff, making it more personalized, or whatever that might be, what might be your interest. Maybe anime, I don't know, stuff like that. Just keep it light, keep it interesting. I mean, try to at least play around with your silhouettes, have fun with it. But remember to keep it in the mainstream, because when you keep it in the mainstream, you will gather a very large portion of the, I guess, population, that's the word. You'll get most of the population of women most likely attracted to you because it's in the mainstream. You're not doing too much and you're not doing too little. You will probably be set apart from most men that typically don't really dress well, I would say. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, you'll be set apart from them. You trying to at least get into fashion, or they might think you're into fashion because, let's be honest here, men's fashion is really ass. The bare minimum is literally going above and beyond for a lot of people in terms of men's fashion. So the metrosexual male versus the bare minimum male. The bare minimum male most likely will win. Now we are on step 3. We're about to jump. Now you've realized that your style is a poor reflection of yourself, and you'd like to really niche down and find your own style. So you pick up darkwear, techwear, decora, Y2K, vintage, and now you belong to a clan, you thrive there, you live your life, you love it, and you love yourself. You study fashion, you learn more about it, you deep dive, which leads us into the abyss. Now, this part of your style gentrification, your style progression, you soon don't care about women, you start really caring about your own self-expression, you start really going into the archives of learning about your own style because you're tired of only attracting a very specific woman. Now you're niching down to your own style because you don't care about women now, you only care about men. Let's say you already went down the path of, you know, dressing pretty average, pretty NPC. Now you start evolving into the area where now we're moving away from really attracting a larger pool of women, and now we're niching down to something more specific, something more of your liking, because you've realized the mainstream of women either have no personality, just like yourself at the moment, or you learn they don't care about you, and they're also NPCs, and you just can't have a conversation with them. And now I know that sucks, but believe me, King, I'm here to support you and your journey into fashion. So hit the subscribe button. On to the next part. You are no longer able to feel emotion. You are on the brink of sadness, but you're not suffering. You no longer feel horny. You are you. And now dressing with no color just makes sense. This emptiness is filled only with clothing, and you soon realize it's too late to climb up back into the mainstream. You're too far gone. At this point, you've kind of figured out your own fashion sense, and you've gone down the journey of, I don't know, maybe going into Y2K. You kind of were a little adventurous. Now you're going down to the darkwear, and now you're really liking black clothes, and soon you're here. You're with me. We're down in the abyss together as one. We're both deep down inside very alone. It's a different feeling when you have people around you, but real loneliness is when you realize you have no friends. Okay, but seriously, fashion should never be a personality trait. And if you do it for more dates, that should be between you and the person that you're gaslighting. The main takeaway of this video is dressing above average, or just the bare minimum, is usually enough for a decent amount of people in the mainstream. Because honestly, you'll be swimming in women. The more you niche down, the less of a chance or opportunity that you may have with somebody that is a woman. Now, there's the general case where your fashion sense or your style sense of your own even self-expression will be more attractive because you're not typically the mainstream area, and you might be approachable in the sense where someone wants to compliment you and they're like, wow, you have really great style, and, you know, it strikes up a conversation. Or maybe they'll receive more validation from you because you dress a lot different and you took the time out of your day to really compliment someone's style, and you might be like, wow, you dress really well, and, you know, you might start a conversation, and, you know, boom, you're now married to some woman for years. If you really want to derive a lot of attention, a lot of looks, you must dress for yourself. And that is my main tip that I can even give, is dress for yourself. You'll gain a lot of confidence from that, and you'll honestly you'll thank me. You know, whether it's in a 4 months, 3 months, whether you just found me, you will thank me for saying dress for yourself. Because at the end of the day, whether it's somebody else telling you how to dress or it's me, it better be only you telling yourself how to dress and how you want to. I don't want to push my own agenda onto you. You know, if you choose to wear all black because you got inspiration from me and you felt like this was me, this is real, then by all means do it. But I never want to ever feel like I pressured somebody into dressing in all black. Never will I ever do that. And with that, I'll see you in the next video, hopefully next week, next month, next year, whenever that will be. But I'll see you in the next one. And with that, later, drainers. If you're still here, remember to click on one of these videos and watch them. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be putting out videos every week if I can. Depends on my mood and how I feel. But see you in the next video.